work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work, 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 work.
I started playing tennis when I was 8 years old. Probably started taking it seriously when I was 10 years old. The highest level of tennis I played Division I, college tennis at Eastern Illinois. I started teaching when I was in college, actually. I taught the summer camps here at Illinois, the Nike camps for 3 summers. And then after college, I went to grad school at Northern Illinois and received my master's there, and that's where I started coaching the men's team. From there, I've coached at a couple of clubs. Most recently coached at Purdue, the men's team there before taking the job here at Illinois. I like the competition, I like the individual competition aspect of it. I think it's a very mentally challenging sport, physically demanding. You have to be extremely active with your feet, along with have very high level of hand-eye coordination to be successful at the sport. Tennis is very challenging mentally, so that's what I most like. The serve and return are the most important, definitely. They're probably the least practiced strokes in all of tennis, but they definitely are the most important because they start the point out, whether you be serving and then returning. So if you have a low percentage of serves made, first serves made, you can't make many returns in the court, you're not going to be too successful. So practicing your forehands, your backhands, your volleys, overheads is great, but if you can't start the point, all right, or return the point, then you're not going to be too effective and too successful. Well, I teach many different levels of tennis, junior kids, adults for the most part. The hardest thing for them is they play for years, and so it's hard to change their techniques. Their muscle memory has been set in stone so long. So for them, it's not interested. They're very interested, but a change for them is very difficult. And for kids, junior players, it's just keeping them interested and involved in the sport is the most challenging aspect of it. It's simple. Have a lot of fun. I think have a great time is the best teaching tool ever. If you're out there and you're bored, whether it be kids or adults, you're not going to learn. So if you can have people very in tune, which I think when people are moving, having a good time, that all translates to successful teaching and really getting the sport developed and growing. I think it's obviously something to keep them active, interested. I think exercise is an extremely important aspect of just life in general. How productive you are in school, etc., so on and so forth. So I think exercise is a great tool for just anybody. And obviously tennis can be something that really sticks with you the rest of your life. I mean, it did with myself. I started when I was young. It's what I do for a career, so I have a great time with it. It's self-satisfaction too. I mean, I think adults, when you get into the club play, etc., so on and so forth, your goal is to keep improving. You're not going to go pro. You're not going to make a lot of money playing tennis necessarily. That's a very, very, very small percentage of players that do that, so I wouldn't say that's necessarily a goal for most people. But getting out of that satisfaction of working harder, exercising, getting after it to get up a level or beat somebody you didn't think you could. I think hard work, discipline, great hand-eye coordination is obviously very helpful. If you're athletic, it's helpful. But really it's putting the time into it. If you want to be a successful tennis player, obviously it's important to get the proper instruction, but from there, what are you going to do with it? Are you just going to come to clinics? Are you just going to get a lesson once a week? Or are you going to go on your own and hit against the wall, call people up to play, get the ball machine out? So if you have that discipline to really work at it and work hard, I think that really takes you to the next level that some other kids that might not understand or realize what it takes. So it truly is a dedication to a really extreme level. I mean, as a good coach, as a good instructor, is to read into a player's mind at what motivates them and getting into it. I think, finding that trigger, trying, obviously, as a coach, we know how to basically best develop players, but players, younger players, junior players in particular, might not necessarily understand that, what it takes. So it's really kind of reading the mind and trying to make it click what we are trying to portray. But I would say, in general, you know, a coach probably thinks a little bit different, as in that's their life. You know, a coach, this is what they do, and a player might think about it as it's just an activity. Every once in a while, this is what I do for 2 hours a day. So, but certain kids are different. So it's very different with who you're, you know, working with. But I would say that's probably the main difference. As a coach, this is your whole life, and as a kid, you're just playing a little bit of tennis.
Anything else you want to say?